Hello, beach friends. Well, I hope you're ready for a windy post-storm walk with me on the beaches of Captiva. So not too long ago, we had some storms roll through, and I anxiously watched the day before, knowing I was going to hit the beach the next morning. The storms even set off a few tornado warnings, so I wanted to try my luck over on Captiva. Unfortunately, there's only two public parking lots on Captiva, and the one I wanted to go to was closed. But I did manage to spy the sign letting me know before I drove all the way to the end of the island. So we are going to explore Captiva. We'll just be exploring the south end instead of the north end. And I do manage to find a ton of great shells, including 3 different species I have never found before. So if you are ready for a windy beach walk, let's go to the beach. So here we are over at Turner Beach. Again, not exactly where I had planned to go, but I was thwarted. It is what it is. So I will make do here at Captiva. As long as I'm at the beach, I'm pretty happy because I was very excited about the storms. It does tend to bring out us shellers, and we like to hit the beach and see what kind of goodies might be there. So heading toward the water is awful rough. Now the tide is going out, but when the water's like that, I don't know that it really makes much of a difference. So kind of peeked at what was down in the water, and not much you can really see. So we're going to spend a lot of time up here on the beach going through these smatterings of little shell piles. And this one, a lot of times something like this, you're going to look for shapes, not colors. And look at that. A chestnut turban, which I really don't find all that often, so I was pretty excited about that. Now it's kind of a mess, a little bit icky. There we have a spiny jewel box. So this looks like a lot of that foamy stuff that was in the ocean kind of landed here along with all the shells. But I definitely want to check out everything because you just never know what might be hiding. All right, we have another scallop. So if you're going to check out this, we got ourselves a chestnut turban, and we'll just keep looking, see what else that water has churned up and put on the beach for us. There is another chestnut turban. And I was a little curious because it's not like I'm the first one here. There are other shellers here, so I was pretty excited. People seem to miss those. Oh, and I wanted to show you, we do have white fluffy stuff blowing around, but it is from the sea. It is not snow. That is the only white fluffy stuff I like to see flying around. It's only 79 degrees and there was a high surf advisory, so the water is still pretty angry from all those storms that came through. And we have another chestnut turban, not quite as beaded as some of those previous ones, but still pretty cool. And another. All right. Now I hadn't caught quite on at this point that we were going to find a whole bunch. Didn't know that yet, but very pretty beaded chestnut. So we do happen to find a couple of those. And like I said, I am not alone. And I've just said it before, you pretty much got to get to the beach at like 3 o'clock in the morning to get here first. I didn't have the plan to go shelling in the dark, but maybe I'll do that in the near future. So for today, we're going to go through all these other cool piles of things. Here's another scallop, a little bit beat up. Lots of kitten paws. Here is a slipper. It is a slipper snail. Okay, here is a piece of thin finger coral. Not surprised. Anything that was loose, I think, is kind of pushed up onto the beach. Although there wasn't the big shells, like the big shell piles I was kind of hoping for. Oh, that's a pretty scallop. And here is a calico clam. Nice color on that one as well. And a lettered olive. Let's see how lettered. It is barely lettered, but I do see it shiny. So we have here a rather unlettered olive. And another chestnut turban. Okay, let's look at, it's pretty beaded, although it's kind of a monochrome color. And just wait, some of them, the color is fantastic. So that's what I'm looking for. Anything, you guys see the turban? It's there. There it is. Let's look. Ooh, the color on that one is totally cool. Very beaded with nice little splotches of brown. Very, very cool. So they do come in a bunch of different colors. We are going to see a whole bunch of varieties of them. Oh, that one has a nice orange stripe to it. Very, very cool. And another, all right, this one looks a little more orangey. Again, nice and beaded. I'd love to, I've never actually found an operculum for those. So one day I hope. Now this piece of coral, I think, is staghorn coral. Pretty sure that that's what that is. Kind of neat because I usually find the thin fingered coral that we've already found. So to find coral that was a little different was very cool. Here's another scallop. Oh, real pretty color. Oh, really pretty color on that. All right, cool. Okay, and here we have a seraph. It's a fun little shell, not an auger. It's got that same shape, but they are different shells. We'll find one of those later on too. And this little itty bitty tiny apple murex. Just a wee little apple murex shell. I'll put that in my container because that will get lost in my shell bag for sure. Now this, I thought, I was kind of thinking, oh, what is this? And then the more I kind of studied it, that's an arc. I think that's a transverse arc. Oh, another chestnut turban. Very cool. And I look for almost like the void, that circle, the same as with the shark eyes sometimes. When they're turned upside down, you're kind of looking for a dark circle. So just to show you, I am not here. I was not the first. I'm not here alone. I was not the first one here. I'm definitely shelling among other people. So just kind of all trying our luck. And look, everybody isn't going to find everything all the time. And maybe they weren't maybe these people weren't looking for chestnut turbans. I don't know. But I was surprised that I was finding these kind of cool shells even amongst a bunch of other shellers. Two more, not quite as beaded, but still very cool. And this, I believe, is a corrugate jewel box. Kind of, it's hard to tell with some of them. I'm pretty sure that that's what that is. A little weird looking shell, which I like. I like weird. Oh, and another piece of coral. Okay, so this is the third type of coral. This is called golf ball coral. And I do not usually find those as well. You can kind of tell by the shape. So that's called golf ball coral. Pretty cool. Oh, my lady in waiting Venus clam shell. Yeah, I just like them. Kind of cool. And a lightning whelk. Nice. Lightning-y lightning whelk. Yep, went right over the scallops, right for the chestnut turban. Well, that one's really beaded. A very bumpy chestnut turban. This, I was so excited because I've never found one. I don't think I've ever found one over here on the West Coast. That is a giant bittersweet clam. It's not all that big, but that is the species it is. It is a giant bittersweet. I've typically only found those over on the East Coast. So to find one today was pretty cool. And look at all the voids. See those circles? There's one chestnut turban, two chestnut turbans. Yeah, they're an okay shape. And here I see another void. So here we have another one of those seraphs. Kind of cool. And another. That's got some kind of cool coloring. Another cool beaded chestnut turban. So, guys, like, I don't think I've found one of these in months. And then today, so far I've picked up a dozen. So some more chestnut turbans. Oh, and here, okay, here we have a common nutmeg. So that is a little nutmeg. It's nice. It's got a little point on it. It's also kind of beaded, so kind of fun. And a big old lady in waiting Venus clam. They get to about 1.5 inches. So that one is probably just about maximum size for that lady in waiting clam. And this I liked because like a lot of the work was already done for me. It's just about exactly half of a chestnut turban, so definitely keeping that. Yep. And another. And again, I'm kind of scratching my head going, why are these here? Well, because of the storm, but like, why didn't other people find them? I don't know. But I was finding them left and right. So it wasn't the shell piles I was kind of hoping, when you see that big old storm come through, I was really kind of hoping, there'd be shell piles. I mean, I'm not worried. We're definitely going to find stuff, some other interesting stuff. And there's just not really a possibility at this point of shelling in the water. So it's 8:14 in the morning. I'm just kind of moseying along, see what else was pitched up on the beach for us. Another one. Look at that's kind of got some red in it. All right, at this point, I think you guys probably can nail. You know exactly what a chestnut turban looks like. So unless it's like really, really super cool, we're going to start concentrating on some of the other stuff. Now, this is an auger, but I thought it was neat because it's broken and you can see the inside, the way that it kind of twirls. And that interested me, so I kept it. Yep, water is still really angry, and it's really, really windy. I know it sounds cold, it's not. It's just crazy windy. And I tried, to kind of get down in the water just to see, because I did bring my scooper. I came prepared, but it just wasn't happening. I mean, you couldn't see. There was nothing to really scoop. Look at the wind. The wind was 19 miles an hour at this point. So I'm going to head back up onto the beach and see what we can find. Oh, I spy an apple murex. All right, cool. It's got a bunch of that beach stuff on it. And that is just fine. That'll clean up no problem. What else we got? Ooh. Oh, that's a really pretty nutmeg. Fantastic color. It is missing its little tiny point, but it's gorgeous. Nice color, very pretty. Common nutmeg. And a turkey wing just kind of poking out of the sand there. That's kind of cool. And it's funny, there'll be days where I'll find like 30 of those, but today I think we're just going to find this one turkey wing. All right, this must be something kind of cool. Yeah, that is kind of cool. Got a nice pattern to that. Another chestnut turban to add to the collection. Oh, and here's just a wee little calico clam. Kind of muted colors, kind of cool. And while we're here, we might as well pick up a calico scallop or two. So they were here as well. Let's see what else is laying around. All right, yet another scallop. That one's a little bit more worn down. That is a juvenile Florida fighting conch. Very sandy. You notice the sand here in Captiva. It's much darker and very, very, sand is grainy, but it's just kind of bigger grains of sand, if it's such a thing. That's a chestnut turban, a little bit beat up. And another common nutmeg. Very cool. I spy an olive. That'd be terrible if I missed it. Oh, it's a nice one. Very lettery. Kind of fat little shiny thing. Awesome. Very cool. Lettered olive. Oh, and another apple murex. Excellent. Real nice color. I know look, they had a rough time, these shells. They've been kind of tossed around for a bit, so some of them are a little bit dirty. Now, this was so fun because it doesn't really look like much of anything. It's just a little piece kind of poking out. and it is a lace murex. So I don't know. I just think that that's kind of cool when there's just a little piece of something and you kind of explore, you take the time to look at it. And I wanted to go wash it off, but I couldn't quite tear myself away. I was finding all these other things. That is a hinged kitten paw. And of course, there is another, and that's kind of pretty, another chestnut turban. And I still couldn't tear myself away. Oh, look at the color on that. So that's another very slippery, I guess, chestnut turban, but it's like red. Oh, so pretty. So I finally made it to the water to wash off the lace murex, which actually is very lacy. Super duper happy with that lace murex. Ooh, and it was hiding another lettered olive. He's pretty lettery. Definitely gonna keep that. You see it? It's a chestnut turban. Not that one, but there's one there. That is a hinged kitten paw. What do we got here? Another kitten paw, maybe? I don't know. Yep. Do you see the turban? There it is. Hopefully you saw it. So this is a fantastic tutorial on how to find chestnut turbans. And that is another one of those lady-in-waiting Venus clams. I don't know, I just think they're interesting. Kind of like those horizontal, like leafy lines on them. And this, I guess I was here, I'm just picking them up left. Oh, while I'm bent down, might as well pick up a couple of them. I mean, they were just everywhere. Very cool. That's a seraph. Oh, and another one. Almost, well, wouldn't want to miss that. So, whole bunch. Chestnut turbans and a seraph. And another lettered olive. Oh, and he's very shiny. It's got its point. Not that, color isn't fantastic. It's not that lettery, but it's a nice shell nonetheless. So let's poke around. You can see people have been through here. I see footprints. You can tell that the shells have been disturbed, but I still kind of at least take a peek because you never know. Like I said, I miss shells. Other people miss shells. You never know. Somebody might have missed something good. Here's another calico clam. Love the color on those. And while I'm here, pick up a couple of chestnut turbans, Very cool. Oh, this must be good. Let's look at the color. Yeah, that one's really cool. Kind of got like that red and brown, some stripes. It's a little bit bumpy. Yeah, that's super pretty. Super pretty chestnut turban. Okay, it's a lady-in-waiting clam, but it's hinged. So that makes it even, in my opinion, even cooler. So that is a hinged lady-in-waiting clamshell. Yay! Yeah, it's just a piece, guys. It is just a piece of a Junonia. So that is one of the bucket list shells for shellers. I haven't found a piece in a long time. So kind of exciting. It's just a piece, but it is a piece of a Junonia. Oh, very nice. And we have ourselves a flat. Okay, that looks like a round-ribbed flat to me. Yeah. I don't find them all that often, but I'm kind of looking for that zigzag. And this I thought was so pretty. It's just an auger. It's empty, it's packed full of sand. I just thought it was beautiful. Really cool auger. That's weird. Another chestnut turban, but it's kind of pretty. It's definitely very beaded. Got nice color on there. All right, let's see how pretty this one is. Yeah, that one's kind of cool too. Definitely needs a little bit of cleaning. All right, there's got to be some more here. There has to be. I mean, they were. You pretty much you bend down and you just picked up a couple. I mean, it was just nutty, and not in a bad way. So just kind of hunting through here. Now this is different. I have absolutely no idea what it was or what it is. I tried to figure it out. I mean, obviously it's some sort of clam, maybe? I don't think it's a scallop. I don't know. If you have any idea what you think that is, let me know. And here we have a painted egg cockle. I just think they're so pretty. And the ones I found today happen to be really shiny for whatever reason. The ones, I don't know whether the sand kind of like buffed them up, but they were shiny. They were pretty. And this was something that I found on the beach. I have no idea what it is. I tried to figure it out. It doesn't really feel like coral. It is light. It just was a weird shape. I find another piece toward the end of the video. Maybe somebody can help me figure out what that is. And then this is a hinged calico clam, and it's always hard to, open those with one hand. So it was empty, not alive. So I managed to find that pretty hinged calico clam. So I'm still kind of meandering down the beach. Again, not the shell piles, just kind of smatterings, but we're still definitely still finding pretty good stuff. Still pretty windy. But I've walked far enough away from the beach entrance, so I'm not really encountering too many other people at this point because there's only 2 entrances or 2 public parking spots on Captiva. That's it, 2. And one of them was closed. And that is just a piece of a flat. And since I might have kept that if I found it first, but since I found that first one that was pretty much whole, I decided to leave that piece. And this scallop I thought was just gorgeous. I do not think that is a calico scallop, and that is another shell that I couldn't quite figure out exactly what that was, which is, in my opinion, kind of cool. I like finding things that are different. I do my research and I can't figure it out, so hopefully one day I will be able to figure it out. That one right there I'm holding, that is a spiny jewel box. A very sandy, spiny jewel box. Ooh, another chestnut turban. What else is here? Another calico clam. There's got to be at least a couple turbans here. Oh, yeah. It was, oh, that one's super pretty. Really, really pretty. All right. A rough scallop. A nice bright orange rough scallop. Very cool. So, just like I said, moseying down the beach, and I think I'll go for a little walk and be quiet so you can have some beach time. Now, where exactly were we when we just took this walk? So here you see the southern tip of Florida, and over here is Captiva. So when we zoom in, this is the island of Captiva, and this is where I wanted to park because I wanted to explore the north end of the island. However, I had to park down here because that was the only lot on the entire island that was open to the public. So that's where we're walking and exploring and looking for shells. Another auger. Oh, really cool. I like the big ones. Very cool auger. And another rough scallop. Oh. So there's other things here other than chestnut turbans. And there's a calico scallop on the right. Kind of see the difference. Definitely on the bottom of the shell you can see the difference. Oh, there's another nutmeg. Very nice with I think another bonus shell in there on me. And another chestnut turban. Nice and beaded. Very cool. And you can see the stuff blowing around in the background. Here we have yet another rough scallop. Nice orange one. Wow, that one's a little bit bigger than some of those other ones. That is pretty. big old beaded chestnut turban. And here's another one. Oh, look, bonus. I got a little tiny hinged kitten paw inside of the chestnut turban. Oh dear. Trying to keep hold of everything. And at this point, like, if I help you find shells, if I give you tips, if you could let me know, yes, I've been helpful, so I can try to incorporate more of that into future videos. Here we have an egg cockle. I try to tell you guys just what I look for, what I do, how I go about it. Doesn't make it right. I'm just trying to let you know how I kind of go about my business. Oh, well, high round ribbed flat. Very cool. And I gotta kind of hold on to it or it's gonna blow away. Yep, that is another round ribbed flat. Very cool. Another egg cockle. Clearly I'm trying to hold on to. Look at the color on that one. Oh, that's awesome. So apparently they can range anywhere from very light monochrome to almost a red color. There can be orange. Another apple murex. Very nice. That one's in decent shape. Doesn't need much cleaning up at all. Now, this one was very exciting to me. I've never found this. This is a cross-hatched lucine. And if you look at the pattern on the top of it, it has a really intentional, deliberate kind of pattern to it. So it's a little bit wavy. It's a little bit diagonal. It was really, really neat. I knew that that was something I had never seen before. So that is a cross-hatched lucine. Here we have another particularly pretty chestnut turban. Very beaded, nice color. Yep, scoring big on those chestnut turbans today. And here we have a Florida worm snail. I like the weird things. Those are a little weird. I like them. Oh, and a little tiny nutmeg. Oh, that one's a real pretty color. I guess they hang out with the turbans. Now, this is another mystery that I don't know what it is. I was not able to figure this out. Just a big old hunk of a shell. And I couldn't tell if all the other matter kind of adhered itself to the shell or that was supposed to be the shell shape. I really didn't know, but I thought it was interesting. I still have it. I kept it. I have no idea what it is. It's just a big old lump of something from the beach. Oh, and this was just a piece. That is a piece of a lion's paw. So the whole shell did not survive, just a piece. And I have found, a handful, maybe 3 or 4. So I decided to not keep that piece. So it is beautiful. And for me, it's kind of exciting to see the water kind of roiling like this because it is normally much calmer. The high surf advisory is still there. And the wind is kicked up a little bit. So now it's actually 20 miles an hour. So it was, the storm blew through, pushed stuff all over the place, and it is still very, very windy. This was very, very cool. That is a speckled Talon. I had never found one before. Somebody else had sent me a picture trying to identify it, so I knew what it was when I picked it up. So that was kind of cool. And then that is just another lettered olive. It happened to be there. I figured I'd just take a peek, but that speckled Talon, I thought that was really cool. And look at this chestnut turban. It's like a bright orange color. I've never found so many, so I didn't realize just the variety of colors. I mean, the same shape, they have that beaded pattern, but the colors, there's a nice variety of colors on them. And there is another common nutmeg. Doing good in the chestnut and nutmeg department. Appropriate for this time of year. So just peek through here. There were kitten paws everywhere. Just kind of scanning. And so like I said, you see what I'm finding. There is stuff here. It doesn't really look like it, but if you just be patient, you kind of get down there. Look at this. All right, you know what that is? That is a depressed top snail. I have never found one of those. They're tiny. They only get to be about 1/2 inch big. So that is a depressed top snail. I thought that was super cool. I've never seen one, never found one. So another new to me shell. And look at the color on that one. It's almost like purple. Very fun. Oh, hello, Apple Murex. While I'm here, might as well say hi to you, pick you up. Nice colored shells. And another Apple Murex. All right, I'll take that, sure. Again, I kind of scratch my head. Do people miss? Why are people missing these other shells? I don't know. Look, another flat. Yay. And it's not like this stuff is getting washed up. This stuff is either here or it's not. The tide is not helping at this point at all. Another flat, very pretty. And another lightning whelk. So today we only found 2. But what else? Oh, there's another couple of chestnut turbans. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was like that. If you bent down, you just kind of picked up a couple. They were, every time I went down, I at least got one chestnut turban. Here is another. Oh, that one's really lovely. So that is a nutmeg. Very, very lovely nutmeg. Oh, finally, some Florida Fighting Conchs. Hadn't seen any of those today. Although these do look a little bit worse for wear. They probably were tossed around quite a bit. That is a knobless one. Doesn't have those little spikes on the shoulder. Look at the kitten paws. Seriously? That's crazy. So apparently they were all having a party and they all ended up hanging out on the beach together. Yep, there's a chestnut turban. So depending on what you were looking for, you could have hit the jackpot. So all your typical, well, maybe not all of them. Not too many arcs. That was just crazy with the kitten paws. And another nutmeg. Fun little shell. Oh, and a tiny, tiny little rough scallop. Very pretty. Now that's more of that weird matter. I don't know what to call it. And you can kind of see on this one, so there's kind of a void in the middle of it. I don't know what that is. So I'm assuming it's something from the ocean. Don't know what it is though. Something different. Oh, a broken chestnut turban. Yeah, I think we have enough. We can leave that one behind. But look at the color on that one. How cool is that? I thought that was really cool. And another nice auger. Very cool. And what do we got here? Okay, this is another mystery to me. I don't have any idea what that is. I could not figure it out. I don't know if that is a piece of something, if that is the whole thing. Is it a shell? I couldn't quite tell. I mean, it looks like it should be some sort of really cool scallop, but I could not identify it or figure out what it was. Still kind of cool. So that was the beach walk. It was not what I expected. I was kind of hoping, and I guess you always do when a big storm comes, you figure you'll go to the beach and there'll be a 6-foot high pile of shells, but it doesn't always work like that. And I did try a little bit of scooping over here by the jetty. So across, we just saw Blind Pass, but we're over here on the jetty in Captiva. The water is still whipping. The wind is still whipping. And I did try a little bit of scooping and there was just nothing out there. So I have a feeling that a bunch of other people got really, really lucky after. But I'm not going to complain because I got about 1 billion chestnut turbans. All right, maybe not 1 billion, but it was over 160. It was insanity, but in a good way. So we got a whole bunch of those chestnut turbans. I did pick up a couple of those cat paws. Got a couple scallops. And then I was really kind of liking those augers, the sariths, the egg cockles, a couple of those lady-in-waiting clams. And then we did get some calico clams over on the right and some nutmegs, some spiny jewel boxes, some apple murexes. But my favorite pieces were like the interesting weird stuff, the couple flats, the bittersweet, that lucine, the piece of Genonia, the depressed top snail. So, I mean, it was really fun, especially seeing the stuff that I don't normally see, finding mystery shells and finding shells I'd never found before. So it was really, really fun. And before I give you a quick sneak peek to next week, I just want to go through my thank yous to my Patreons, who I appreciate so very much for financially supporting me, and everybody else. I love you so much. Thank you. Next week, this is going to be one of the shells we find. It was literally just sitting there on the beach. This is an alphabet cone, and we're going to find this and a ton of other fantastic shells. So thank you as always for coming along with me on my windy beach walk. It was a lot of fun. I hope you learned a lot about chestnut turbans and how to find them. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.